This model kit review is of a very large model car, and this is the Ford GT40, and it's by Magnifier, and it is 1/12 scale dimensions there. It's a very large box. I do have some nice box art. It does have some photo etched parts as well, and let's have a look. There's the other option to paint. The box is just too large to show, so we're going to open it up and have a look inside. We have got many sprues here, all individually wrapped. There's a lot to go through here. Okay, so we'll start off with this fun looking box. This almost looks like a model kit itself. And got some nice box art there. There's the top, side, front and back. So let's have a look. It's a very large model kit. And it's all nicely wrapped. Here is our the rear part of the car. And very nicely molded, very crisp and clear. But you have some mold lines here, right there. And it looks like our hood has been taped on here. Let's open that up. So here's the main frame with our spare wheel, and then the body will come down like that. There's our gas cap. And the interesting thing about the GT40s is the roof was actually part of the door. It would swing out because it was too short to be able to climb into. That way you could stand up and slide down. And that'll go there. So that's kind of roughly the size of the car. It's quite large, as you can see. And there's the right hand door. There's the left hand door. Then we've got our windshield. This is our front windshield and rear. Here are our tail lights, and then these are the side glass pieces there. You can see their outline. And then here, interesting, is it's got some chrome already painted on there. This is our chassis. Again, very nicely molded. Okay, and then next up we've got our look at our tires. And these are our front tires and our rear tires here. As you can see here, a significant difference between them. And you can see here some of the details there. And they feel like they're made out of vinyl. Next we'll look at our wheels. Very nicely molded, and it's a nice gold color. So front and rear wider. We also have these here, and I'm not sure what this is for. This might be for the inside of the tire to give them some some sort of thickness to it. Okay, we've got a lot of sprues to get through. All very nicely molded. Looks like the part that's going to hold the maybe the hood frame. We've got our bar connecting the two sides. Looks like a whole bunch of subframe parts. Here's a wheel hub here, and probably a rear wheel hub here. And I'm not sure what that part is. Got some chrome parts here. And they're all nicely protected. Those look like really nice chrome. And that's probably part of our maybe our rear glass. Got some exhaust parts here, sway bar. These are the parts for our wheel hubs. There's our rear view mirror, and that's for the inside of the wheel well, for the spare tire, I think. Some engine parts there, and then maybe a fuel tank. Not really sure what that is, but that's all very nicely molded. This next one here, we've got more chrome parts, and we've got some exhaust parts. Looks like radiator parts, and some panels for the inside. Suspension. There's our pedal box and our gas cap. Engine parts. Here's our the camshaft covers. So all very nicely molded. Next we've got our main engine, and as you can see there, we've got our gearbox that's molded into it. And more body panels that have already painted this with the chrome. It's quite nice chrome. And looks like probably maybe part of our exhaust there. Got the insides of our doors. And there is our dashboard. Yeah, that's the dashboard there. And that's the dashboard cover. We've got our steering wheel there. All very crisp and clean. And now over here we've got a whole bunch of screws, all the different shapes and sizes, and bars for, I guess, the parts of the springs and so on. Here is our photo etched parts for the grille. It's very nice looking right there. Now over here we've got our main seats, and there's the other seats. Also got our exhaust parts here. More exhaust parts, nicely molded. And then this is the front hood with the scoop for the air. Got the air scoops for the back, and that's probably our spoiler for the back there. We have a black sprue here. And that's our steering rack there with some engine parts I'm not really sure what a lot of these parts are. Looks like maybe part of our subframe floor there. Looks like we have some more chrome parts here. They're all very neatly wrapped up here. Very nicely molded. I've got some engine parts here, lots of engine parts and belts and so on. Probably part of our exhaust there. Just lots and lots of parts. And there are more. It's a never-ending supply of sprues with parts. Not sure what that is. Box. We've got some brakes here. Some more of our wheel lug nuts there. And the radiator parts there. Looks like we've got two of the same thing. So there's a second copy of that. And then down to the last two sprues. We've got one here. Back to white sprues again with, looks like our, that's probably our rear part of the cockpit. That's probably our floor pan. And we've got a roll bar and our windshield wiper. And then our glass. So we've got side glass and rear glass, lights and so on. We've got some decals here to look at. So I guess these are two different options depending on which one you want to make. So there's one, and let's open that up and have a look. They're very nicely printed actually. Very nicely printed. That's for number one. I think that's the one that won in Le Mans in that with Ken Miles. And then here's the other one. And that's number two, and that's with silver. That's quite nice. Okay, let's look at our instruction booklet. It's quite a thick, heavy booklet. And some nice art there. There's a picture of the actual car. There is the parts listing. And let's see here, more parts listing there. Okay, we're going to start off with the engine, and we're going to add lots and lots of detail here. As you can tell, incredible amount of detail. It is a large car, so it's easy to add all this kind of detail. So here we've got our exhaust parts. And then axles. Now we're going to establish or build the suspension. So putting that on the chassis. And there's our sway bar. And engine is mounted. It's a mid-mounted engine. So here we've got tires going on to the wheels, and we're putting together our wheel hubs. let's see here, mounting our suspension, rear suspension, that's all going on. And wheels are then mounted. Here are the more rear suspension parts, lots and lots of detail. Incredible amount of detail. Yeah, disc brakes going on there. Okay, and then some more and more suspension. Those are probably our fuel tanks there on the side. And then this is the cockpit being assembled now. And here are our seats. So we've got some photo etch, looks like. Seats mounted inside the cockpit, and then we've got our roll bar. Cockpit's then mounted on the chassis. And we start to put our doors together. And here's the other door. And we've got our instrument panel, dashboard. Okay, so here we've got our steering wheel going on there, and oil tank, and then looks like some hoses, some air tubing, and I'm wondering, this might actually even make the wheels turn. Really interesting. So that's all then mounted to the chassis, and here we've got additional body parts going in. Some photo etch parts there. Next we've got looks like our radiator, and some tubing, probably brake parts. Then we've got our windshield going on there. Doors go on, both of those. And then parts for underneath the car. And there's our steering rack, so it looks like it will turn. I see that little gear there earlier. And let me mount the body on the chassis. Flex hose there for, it's probably for cooling the brakes. And then we're going to screw all that in. And then we've got lots of tubes and wiring to do. Fuel lines and so on. More lines and tubing there. That's all going to get plugged in. Lots and lots of little detail here. Fuel lines and so on and so on. Okay. And more parts there. Not even sure what that is. And here we've got parts for the suspension. Now we're building our front nose with the headlights. And that's all going to go in that way. Next we're putting inside the firewall parts. That's all going to get mounted. And now we're building the back. And once that's all put together, I've got a Mylar heat shield. And then we've got our rear glass and spoiler. And then grills, scoops. And that's all then mounted to the main body. And you can have it open or closed. And here are the decal and paint guides. So that's number 2, which I think is the better looking car. And then there's number 1, which is the I think that's the Ken Miles car. And colours needed. So all in all, incredible kit. Obviously it's very large, it's very detailed, and it's very well molded.